quiet seaside town, an evil lain to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Gold. This is episode 167.
Wow.
Prime, could be. I'm Lars Casteen. Nice to see you. Welcome to the show today. I'm joined today, as always, by the four kindest improvisers and performers and game players and whatever you want to call them. They're joined here today by me, and here's what their names are. It's this. Robin Lange is the first name.
That's my name. That's true. Hi.
Hi. Zoe Chernicoff is the second name.
It's this.
It's this. David, the Tin Man Chernicoff, is name number 3.
It's this.
It's this. And Armet Humphreys is the fourth name that I'm going to say. Tonight, it's actually, sorry, we need to correct this, the fifth name. I said my own name first. Armet is here. Hi.
It's this.
It is this. So, David and Zoe were just on a bit of a road trip. We took a little bit of time off recording. I know it's impossible for you to tell that given how smoothly everything is going so far.
Yes.
But yeah, given the Ziploc-like finesse with which I'm closing the bag on this intro. But David and Zoe saw something interesting in their trip to the great lands up north. There's one specific place that they went to. Where did you go to? Let's talk about it. I want to hear all about it. What is it? It's this.
It's this. We paid a visit to the Canadian Potato Museum.
Mm-hmm.
First question. Is it the Canadian Museum of Potatoes or is it the Museum of Canadian Potatoes?
I am so glad and also sorry that you asked, because as I was getting ready to say what it was, it occurred to me that I did not know its proper name.
Sure.
It's Canadian Potato Museum.
I nailed it. I knew that all along.
Tell us about the Canadian Potato Museum. Tell us how you found it. Tell us how you enjoyed it. And tell us anything else you want to tell us.
Zoe, you would have to say how we found it, because I was not there when we found it.
We went to Prince Edward Island. If you Google the Canadian Potato Museum, you're going to figure that out. So we're no big spoilers here.
Okay.
I'm
out,
it is
but
a
okay.
Beautiful place. I don't want to say I recommend it, because one thing that's charming about it is that it is not filled with awful tourists. And so I fear that, somehow the word will get out and it will sully its pristineness. But
I'm okay with Tabletop Gold listeners visiting, but do not tell anyone else.
It ends with you.
Yeah. Don't tell the listeners of any other actual play podcast about this potato museum.
That's right. Anyway, so there's a whole world of Anne of Green Gables things you can do in Prince Edward Island.
Been there,
there's
done that.
Hikes.
Loved
there's
it.
beaches. But then if you're sort of looking for, our kids are 5 and 7, like some other things you can do with kids. We were there for a while. This is like one of the few things that comes up. And once it's pretty far. It's like all the way on the west side of the island. It's like not in the main tourist area. But once you know it's there, you're not going to not go to the Canadian Potato Museum.
Yeah.
That seems
I agree.
eminently reasonable, yeah.
Yeah.
I strongly understand what you're putting down.
So that's how we
It
got
immediately
there.
rocketed to the top of the list of things that we
Like a potato
wanted to do.
shot out of a rocket launcher.
That's right.
precisely.
So, did you like it? Did you like going to see these potatoes? Did you like? What's the main thing you got out of it? Was it learning something about potatoes? Was it seeing exciting potatoes? Was it what?
It was very enjoyable. Zoe described it at one point to me as peddling potato propaganda.
Oh,
which I will admit that did change my view of things just a little bit, because
before she said that, I was simply completely taken in by the potato propaganda. I was learning potato facts.
Mm-hmm.
I was hearing about benefits of potatoes.
Were there any warnings about the potential harms of potatoes at this museum? Was that at least balanced?
To my
in that
knowledge,
direction?
there are no potential harms of potatoes.
The closest it got, Lars, was an entire, and this museum was super charming. Like, it was definitely potato propaganda, but would tell someone to go. The closest it
10
got to
times out of
potato
10.
warnings, Lars, was a area where you rounded a corner in this sort of like warehouse museum that they divided up into this flow of different things about potatoes. And there were about 15, 18-inch by 8-inch coffins into which they had put models of potatoes that had fallen prey to various pestilence.
This
rot.
is so charming what you're
It was
saying
so
to me
awesome.
right now.
Yeah, they made these little potato coffins with little models of what can go wrong. But
And it
that's
was like,
more
this is
about
potato rot, and this is potato blight, and this is potato, whatever, potato tooth, and this is potato root, and whatever.
Yeah.
And
a classic
they had
case of
one
potato
each.
tooth over
Oh,
here.
man.
Yeah. And potatoes are amazing. They are so nutritious, and they're hearty, and they could grow in all these different climates. They're more nutritious than staple grains, and also less susceptible to crop failure. So it sort of seems like everywhere that ends up with potatoes ends up progressively more and more leaning on potatoes.
Right, like potatoes lift humanity up is sort of, it feels as what you're saying.
That's how I feel about it.
That's
Even
exciting.
though
I'm
Zoe
glad to
pointed
hear
out
that.
to me that it might be a slightly self-interested presentation of potato facts.
Well, I think that we need to ask the question of how did these people become interested in potatoes? Like maybe they're just pro potato because they looked into it and they were like, this is good. Right? You don't need to assume an ulterior motive.
They are pro potato because potatoes are one of the primary exports of Prince Edward.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
fair
they
enough.
have like a literal economic.
Okay. All right. Okay.
They
fair enough.
export a staggering volume of potatoes per capita.
About which they will tell you in detail. I could pull up some pictures and we could go
If
over
Prince
the
Edward
stats.
Island itself were a country, it would be something like the number 15 or number 12 or number 18 or whatever exporter of potato or grower of potatoes in the world. But per capita, it is by far the number one area in the world by like an order of magnitude, maybe even 2 orders of magnitude. I'm trying to remember how many zeros were on the thing. Anyway, so there are a lot of potatoes grown there, and a lot of people there are very keen on potatoes, and Again, this is not, I shouldn't have said the propaganda thing first because that was not at all the experience of it. This was incredibly awesome.
But there was like a
and
whole
charming and wholesome
exhibit that
thing.
was basically, its point was potatoes are nutritionally perfect. They are a superfood, which sure, like the skin has good stuff, like eat a potato. But like the idea of being like, this is it, that's all you ever need again was when I was like,
Yeah.
You're right.
And it's
they
good
pushed it too
because
far.
Yeah, you should be.
so
eating a
it was good for one of
right
us to have some critical thinking. But I couldn't concentrate because the entire place smelled like delicious.
yeah, they have a whole
potatoes.
potato
Really?
cafeteria, which obviously we got potatoes after. You can't not. We're not monsters.
And I suppose just to put a coda on the entire thing, and this is absolutely true,
Okay.
in the gift shop, which sells mostly, as you might imagine, potato-related things.
Yeah.
Naturally.
That was my first
Our
question.
son decided that with a portion of his small trip allowance, which we give the kids like a little bit of money to spend on account of there being gift shops everywhere, he wanted to purchase a stuffed owl, a very cute stuffed animal owl,
Yep.
which he promptly, upon exiting the museum, named Hoot.
Hey!
Yeah.
It was destined.
It felt very destined. So it just became a very tabletop gold afternoon, a tabletop Yukon gold.
Perfect.
That is
and
where I
we
like
ate
my
potatoes
Yukon
3
golds.
ways,
Nice.
and
Nice.
and it was delightful.
You know what? Speaking of destiny, if you're watching this episode live for our premiere on YouTube on Sunday, September 22nd, I think is the date, maybe it is your destiny to enter and win our giveaway for a copy of Pathfinder Player Core 2. That's right. If you look at the chat right now, I'll have instructions down there for how to enter the giveaway, and we'll be giving away a copy of Player Core 2, which is the final book in the so-called Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remaster project. We'll be giving out a copy of that book. I'll post the link a couple of times throughout the course of the show, and by the time we roll credits on this one, you will see, who, or I'll tell you if you won. I'm not gonna post your personal information to the chat. I'm just saying, if you win, you'll know that it was your destiny to win, and that's what's gonna happen. Okay, does that make sense? This is all just a thank you for tuning in for our premiere watch party. So thanks everybody who is doing that, and good luck winning our little contest here. And with that, what do you say we get into it? Let's play our game.
Let's do it.
Heck yeah. The swampy lake deep beneath Belcora Harovex's Abomination vaults continues to resist your efforts to complete your search and rescue mission. You're currently recovering from an attack by one of the swamp's natural predators, a vicious crocodile-like creature called a Kruth. But that recovery has been interrupted by a strange, warbling, whispery bit of music floating through the haze above the surface of the murky water. One member of the Star Watch is still missing, the grunt Torpor Wedge, and your friend from the Otari Town Guard, Mark. We rolled some healing off camera. It took about half an hour to get everybody back up to full hit points, which means that it is a bright and early 8:40 in the morning right now. And this strange sort of like whispering, warbling bit of music that you've sort of faintly heard seems to have come to a stop. But I'm wondering if we can just jump in right away, and I want to get a sense of how everybody's reacting to A, being attacked by this natural animal here, and B, hearing this like faint sort of like weaving its way through the mist.
Is it Ursula?
Is it Enya?
Is it Ursula? Is it Enya? Two sides
Is it
of
Ursula
the same-
and Enya?
Is it a duet between Ursula
Whoa.
and Enya?
Yes.
Here
Get
for it.
that. I want that.
How did that never happen? They were contemporaries.
Unfortunate sailing away.
Yep.
See, this is why I'm
if-
not one of either of those people. Or
That-
characters.
Poor fortunate soul.
Orinoco.
There it is.
Fortunate. There's something in here.
Unfortunoco Flow. Is that what we're going?
Yeah.
Well, there's the
okay.
episode title.
I was just hanging there, you know.
If anybody's interested in considering this music, you can give me a skill check if you want to think about things that it might be.
Yeah, Trill's
but,
obviously going to start thinking about where it's coming from, right? Like you haven't said which exact area it's coming from, just that we're hearing it, right?
That's the strange thing. It's hard to get a sense of what direction it's coming from. It feels like it's sort of everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Could Trill use a
You could-
performance check since it's music?
Yeah, give me a performance check. That sounds good. I'd say
How about-
performance. Occultism could potentially be relevant.
Ooh, I might do that.
Yeah, her performs way better.
Okay, so I'll take this performance check from Trill. The one thing that Trill is able to tell is that this doesn't seem like any kind of music that she ever heard. She would barely call it music. It's just sort of a strange sort of intersection of whispers that seem to have caught her ear for a moment. Trill doesn't really call this music. Anybody else want to give me any checks?
I did astrology.
Okay, astrology lore. A very interesting check as Ao considers whether the stars might tell her something of any interest. And it's a great question. Let me see. Let me see what I can get for you. I think that this is a tough sell for astrology for Ao. I don't think
That's
Ao comes away with much
I did get
knowledge
to
here.
roll astrology, and I don't get to roll it very often. So That was gift enough. Thank you.
Okay. And I got a check from Isthan also. What did I get from Isthan?
Yeah, occultism. I don't think he's as good at it as Trill is, but
Well,
he
children
is
use
technically
occultism,
trained.
so.
So
Yeah, so Isthan's training in occultism doesn't seem to turn much up either. He just doesn't have enough training, enough knowledge here. So the three of you
totally
who are
makes sense.
considering the question of this strange whispering music, it seems like are left with very few answers here. You are currently on a set of 2 rowboats that have been chained to each other via a grappling hook that Mag used to connect them to each other. There is a dock ahead of you that you're able to tie your boats up to, and that dock is where you found the body of Colton Marabi. It's where you found the nest of a number of chules, large lobster-like creatures that have brown and purple eggs with swirls heading down the side of them, like weird sort of marble swirl eggs.
Yeah.
Before you tell me what it is you're going to do next, I want to let you know that encounter with the Kruth just now gets you 40 additional experience points,
Oh.
which I believe puts you at 950 of 1,000 experience, standing between you and level 9.
My math says 930. Did I miss something?
It
I've
is
got
930.
930
What did
yeah,
I
930
say? I
as
said
well.
940. I'm
said
very, I
950.
should tell you this, very bad at math. It wasn't
this
always
is-
the case, but it is the case now.
This is the game for you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's up. You're sitting on these boats. You hear the sound of the wood in the boat clonking against the soft swamp decayed wood of the dock. And what is next for you?
Could Mag sense motive on the music that's
Yeah,
coming
I love that.
in?
Give me a perception check, please. A blind perception check.
Yeah. There it is.
So Mag is attempting to sense motive, get a sense of what the purpose of this music is, what it's trying to communicate. And Mag feels her head swim as she considers this question. She starts finding herself asking questions like, what would the walls sing about if they could sing? What does a cave want? What is it that are the desires of the ground that surrounds us? Weird, heady, strange thoughts sort of take a hold of Mag, and Mag maybe has a little bit of trouble for a moment, shaking them off to get her wits back around her.
Yeah, I'll say. Okay, so some kind of atmospheric. It's like the setting is talking, or this sound is like emanating from the environment.
And it's one of those things where it's like, as your thoughts like drift away, you come up with something, you catch on with something, and then a second later, you're like, what even am I thinking about right now? Like, how did I even get there? You know what I mean? Does that happen to you ever?
That has happened to me before under certain specific circumstances.
So, without getting
it's not
into too
happening
much
for
deal
me
about
right now,
what
but
those circumstances are, it's like that.
could go
Smoking
make
two
it
legs.
happen if I needed to, I guess. Okay.
So, what do you do?
I also sort of have a music-themed joke for the room where we left some unopened doors, so that drives me to want to go to that way. But I'm amenable anyway.
So Armat has a bit in the temple, if that
I'm here-
helps
I'm here
anybody.
I can't think of a better reason to do something.
Let's go and continue the investigation of the Clickney then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you head into this door leading deep into a Caligny stronghold of sorts. There is a hallway that you walk by that leads off to the west, in that hallway, you found the ghost of Belcora Haravex when she was alerted to your presence by a group of will-o-wisps that passes by on your right as you walk down this hallway into this hazy or formerly hazy shrine where you fought a number of Calignes. I want to point something out that is maybe of interest to you as you re-enter this shrine. There was a moment, or a number of moments on the previous floor that was being run by the devils, where you got the sense that the residents of the area returned and put things away, put new guard watches out, like rearranged the posts, trying to maintain the security of that central area that the devils were in charge of. That is not what's happening here in this chamber that the Calignes were using to smoke these chul eggs and to call for the reemergence of something called Earthagal. At each point in this room where you fought these Calignes and where the Calignes fell, you see a pile of clothing where their bodies disappeared in a flash of light. You see scorch marks surrounding these piles of clothing, and it doesn't seem as though that clothing has been moved, cleaned up, adjusted, or anything in any way. This room is precisely how you left it.
This seems like as good a bit, or as good a time to do this bit as ever.
Yeah, let's get the bit.
Here it is. Chul egg. You'll be a smoking soon.
So that was the bit?
That was it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was it.
Chul, which part of that is supposed to sound like girl, and which part of smoking is meant to sound like woman?
Those obviously would qualify as half rhyme. Chul,
Okay, it was a half rhyme situation.
Yeah.
All right.
Completely identical, obviously.
Very good.
Yes.
Actually, this is
All
a good
right.
time to jump around.
Do we want to go and scene at all? Do your characters have any reaction to this situation?
Well, it sounds like Iston is quietly singing to himself.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Got it.
What's that song? I can't quite recall.
So there's nothing. The room's the same as we left it.
Yeah, like exactly the same. It's strange. I don't know if this strikes you as strange. Overnight, you've been gone from here for about 24 hours, and like nobody moved anything. Nobody adjusted anything for a place that was so heavily populated by these cultists. It's sort of like, well, what's going on with this cult that they're not taking care of each other? They're not repairing they're not repopulating. Like what happened to these people?
Well, I mean, for all we know, that was all of that. Like, you've referred to this as a stronghold, but it could also be a cult of
5 people. Absolutely possible.
At any rate, like,
yeah,
that will mean that no one is aware that these folks are gone, that encounter happened, or that these folks are gone.
Yeah.
Versus, sometimes we come back and there's like we've triggered some broader sense of alarm.
Or
Yeah.
these Caligni are so devoted to, like, they wanted to be exploded, right? Because it was like they were returning to some source.
Yeah.
That maybe it would be anathema to touch the clothes where they lay for other Caligni.
Okay. So they've been coming through, but not disturbing any remnants. I
was gonna say, I imagine Trill's kind of checking out the doors and listening at the different doors.
So Trill does a quick pass of the room. Here are the doors. There's a secret door that you spotted on the way out here, that it is leading deep into the darkness towards the western side. Trill puts her ear to the 3 doors on the southern reaches of this room as she sort of walks along the edges of the room, keeping an eye on this brazier where these chul eggs were smoking. Each of these doors is dry to the touch. It seems as though they lead deeper into some sort of interior structure. I said it was a Caligni stronghold. That may have been me tipping my hand too much, but I think that at this point, Trill can potentially reach the conclusion of there's more to an indoor space inside here where potentially more of the Caligni business is. As Trill finishes her circuit of the room and gets to the northeastern corner, she finds that this door is wet to the touch, as though it leads
Ew.
back out
Outside.
into the swampy area.
Yeah. I think Mag would go to the southeast, the door at the southeast corner of the room, which is by the brazier, but appears to not lead back outside. That would probably be where she would.
Okay. So Mag steps up to that door. What is everybody doing as you're exploring here?
Ao is scouting and looking for traps.
Okay. How's Trill doing?
She's doing her usual thing of
Searching.
searching. Yeah,
All right.
that's the word.
What's Isthan up to?
They'll also be searching.
Okay.
Mag will scout for enemies.
So Mag pushes this door open, and this door leads into another small hallway. And the light from her wayfinder extends a short distance down that hallway, and you see two doors on either side, flanking shortly before this hallway dead ends. This is the same sort of stonework. It's a perfectly dark area. There's no light sources anywhere in here, and the stone hallway has two doors leading off. What do you do?
Well, let's feel them and see whether they seem to be interior or exterior doors.
Okay. So Mag advances down this hallway to these two doors. Both of these doors seem to be leading into an interior. One thing that you notice is that the door to the west seems to have a heavy lock on it, whereas the door to the east does not.
I'm going to check the bag of holding, see if we have any spare keys. I was thinking east anyway, but
You don't see any keys that match this lock.
Hate that.
We have,
I'm
I guess,
happy to
one
try
key
and
kicking around in there, but
pick that
it's not-
I
lockaroo,
was
guys.
gonna
I got a bunch of
say.
thievery things.
We
I
got
never
a
use
rogue
them.
on our team.
Or will we find the key in another room?
yeah.
Ao begins picking the lock.
Okay.
Love it.
So go ahead and give me a thievery check, please, as Ao pushes past Mag.
I love it. It's 17 on the die for a 33.
Okay, that's one success. You feel part of the lock come apart. Can you give me one more check, please?
Can I give you one more check? That's
Nice
a
dice.
15 on the die for a 31. Also, I'm pretty good at thievery. I don't know.
You're about halfway through the lock. Ao smiles to herself as this lock gives way easily.
She begins whistling just to be irritating. That one's a little lower. It's a 22.
The lock shivers for a second underneath her lockpicks and does nothing. One more check, please.
Nothing. How about a 21?
Same thing. These early successes are slowing down.
Can Trill come in and aid her when she sees her?
Sure you can. After this next check.
Next one's a 19.
Okay.
Her fingers are getting sweaty. She's starting to feel a little stressed that she began whistling like a total asshole, and now it's all backfiring on her.
Okay. Now let's get an aid from Trill. What does this look like?
Trill comes in because she's got pretty good hands. She's just she starts. Well, let me just get. She tries to. She's not gonna take the tools out of Ao's hands because she knows it's gonna piss Ao off. But she comes in and tries well, what? Let me hold that. Let me hold it for you. You're not using it. That way you can actually, pay a bit more attention. She tries to come in and she knows what Ao's doing, so she's trying to support her best she can.
Great.
Yeah. Here, I was gonna hand that off anyways.
So that's a 28.
Okay, so that's a critical success. You're going to give Ao a +2 on the next of these?
One's a 27, so +2 is a 29.
Great. It seems as though this lock is almost about to break open under your fingers.
Whistle with me, Trill. And they whistle together.
The Trill does know that does a little bit more help. She gets a 24.
Okay, another success, so +1 to Ao's next check.
That's a 1 on the die. You don't want that here. Does the whole thing break?
So what happens when you attempt to pick a lock and you get a 1 on the die?
I might
is
hero point this?
your thieves' tools break.
Is it too late for me to hero point it?
No, not at all.
I feel like my dignity depends on hero pointing this, which is the Aos, so I'm
Well, that's a
doing
good
it.
reason.
Another roll. Trill, you're off key. You're off key. Whistle different.
It's Trill's fault.
Trill salt, yep.
Never Ao's fault.
It's an 18 on her aid.
Oh, sorry, did Ao use a hero point?
Oh, I guess, sorry. What am I saying?
Oh, sorry,
I need
right.
to
No, of course,
No,
yeah.
that was
So
on
she
me.
doesn't need
All
to,
right. That is a 33.
Okay.
Plus
so
1,
that,
34.
So you manage to finally get this last bit of the lock just as you're maybe running out of things to whistle. The door swings open. You look inside this door and you see a creature lying on the floor, seemingly dead. Let me show you a picture of what this creature looks like.
Ooh.
Oh. Well, part of the problem is that all of its innards are exposed.
That's...
Oh, look at that. He's got that weird see-through thing that those Erdeffins had on the gladiatorial level.
Wow, dude.
And that signature sword that has this sort of
cool.
It's like a bad fork, you know?
Yeah, this creature has like pale blue, near transparent skin. And Armet, you're totally correct. That is an Erdeffin. So let's give you a hero point.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Hey.
That may or may not because I spent a little time on Archives of Nethys ogling that Roka sword.
Ah.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, you can, as you lean into this room and Istin makes this comment, there are almost like bones or organs that you can see through the skin. Can I get perception checks from anybody who's looking closely at this creature from across the room?
Blind?
Yeah. Okay. So Istin and Trill notice the faintest movement on this creature's skin, like it's like breathing faintly. It is trying to look dead, but it is not. It is playing possum.
Mage hand.
Tickle it.
Honestly, put a finger just gently up its nose.
Well, wait a second, though. In all seriousness, if it is trying to play possum and we have figured out that it doesn't know that we know that. So, like, if we think that what we need to do is fight it, we should try and get the jump on it, right? Like,
How hard do you think it is for Mag to just swoop in and get it in the bag of holding?
with all of our stuff?
I think trying
Fuck
to
everything
force
up.
it into the bag of holding is tricky. I think trying to get it restrained seems pretty easy. Like Mag cranes
I
her
could,
head
like,
around the
Run up and
corner.
grab it or something.
Yeah, and
Right.
Mag is
Rope
like,
around its hands.
Mag looking at this creature is like, this is not a hard fight. Like you could get the jump on it, grab a hold of it, and talk to it. That seems totally doable to you. Like this creature is not a threat to you.
I wouldn't need assurance in athletics.
No, but it would guarantee a certain outcome.
And that outcome would be
Failure.
slightly unable to do so.
Yeah, it would be. You'd be close, but not quite right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll like try to swoop in and grab it and like restrain it on the basis that we might be able to then like interrogate it.
Okay. I'm not going to go into initiative here. I'm going to just ask you for a straight up athletics check. And it's going to be versus its perception DC.
All right. That athletics check is a 29.
So that's a critical success. Mag runs in, gets behind this thing as it starts to stand up and like reveal the next part of its plan. By the time it's able to do that, Mag's already got a hold of it, and you're sitting with your like legs wrapped around it, your arms wrapped around it, and you're holding close to it. You're holding tight onto this creature, this Erdefin, and it yells out, "Let Hooglu go! Let me go!" And it's just wriggling back and forth, like trying to spit at you, kick, like elbow at you, as it's like trying to get away.
Yeah, and Bag's reaction to that is like if a bouncer was ever dealing with like an 8-year-old. Just,
Yeah,
like,
basically.
Oh, come on, like stop. So she says, "I won't be able to do that. Can you tell us why you're sitting here in this tiny room playing dead?"
And it spits at you and says, "I'll tell you nothing. I'll tell you nothing." And you get the sense you're going to need to do some kind of check to get it to talk.
Trill steps in and said, "Did you say your name was Hooglu? That's an amazing sword you've got there, Hooglu."
So this sounds like a diplomacy check.
Yes, absolutely. Trill's.
Meanwhile, Mag is raging because she's been spit upon.
So that's a 32.
And it just spits at you again and says, "Don't speak my name! You don't get to speak my name!" And it seems as though diplomacy is frankly just not going to do it. It's not happening.
Okay.
This guy is not going to listen to reason. It is angry. It is interested in killing all of you. It's not able to, but it's interested in it. And it seems they're going to need to try something a little more devious to get past it.
Could Trill instead use her versatile performance to demoralize it? Try and scare it?
I think demoralizing it is going to momentarily make this person more pliant, more pliable for a moment. But if you want to take the time to get it to do something, you're either going to have to lie to it or you're going to have to coerce it, which is a longer time activity.
Ow!
Oh, yes.
Sorry, there's a little something in my throat.
So
It's a
Ale, I think,
kitsune.
has been around the corner. She's like, when they saw it, she opened the door and she uses her shape-shifting ability to turn into, I think she's not quite sure how this thing would relate to other creatures that they've come across on this floor of the dungeon. So she just turns into another one of these Erdgons
Or Defons?
or Defons. That's what I said. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she turns into an Erdefon, and comes, starts clapping her hands and comes into the room and she's like, "Yeah, we got to get you out of here and get you away from this nonsense."
They look at you and they say, one of my kindred. What are you here for? What is happening?
I'm here for the liberation. Say it with me.
Okay, so give me a lie check. Give me a deception check.
Where's the line?
Yeah. Okay.
That was a 37.
That beats the DC 19 that I was looking for.
Okay. There's no
So-
such thing as like a double critical deception.
Hooglu's like, the liberate. Yes, free me. Please, brother. Hooglu, I serve the war chief Kerfel, the great champion Kerfel.
Obviously, it's Kerfel. I'm Bluehoo, Hulu.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hi, Blue Who.
Wow, you really got the intonation on that one wrong. I don't mean to call out your...
Quiet! Don't you tell my ward brother what to do.
No interruptions to the liberation.
Right.
Yes.
Sorry, my bad.
These Calignes, these vile creatures, they found me down around a corner near a door leading. They jumped me. They got the jump on me.
Was it all to smoke those disgusting eggs?
Why do they do that? They're so weird.
Gross. Eggs
It's
are
gross.
gross.
Yes. But I need to return to our territory down by the chasm. Yes?
Yeah, how long have you been in here? You think they're gonna miss you? Or obviously they know Blue but do they know Hulu? Like, Hulu, I'm scared for you. You just go walking in there. We just liberated you. How long's it been?
Okay. I can answer the question, how's it been? Or how long has it been? The rest of it I'm hazy on. But it's been 2-3 days. They deny me food. They deny me water. I don't think they even really know what's going on. You gotta let me out so I can return to the rest.
Is there any way for her to sense whether his understanding of time is accurate? Like, she's curious if it's really been a few days or if it's actually been 30 years. And
they also have been dead for the last 2 days.
Yeah. Give me a check for that kind of information. Let me figure out exactly what it is that I want here.
Is it astrology?
I'll take society, perhaps.
Okay. Public or blind?
Give it to me public. That's fine.
So 29.
Yeah, you know that you don't have the sense that Urdefons need water differently, need food differently, that there's any strange time dilation or anything. This all seems above board.
Okay. So what, give or take, he's being honest.
Yes.
Yeah, to the chasm. What were your orders when you got lost up here? How far behind are you going to be? So she's trying to sort of understand what his role was or is down below.
I was on patrol and they sucker punched me and I need to return I need to return to Kerfell. Please, you must let me go.
Obviously, we're not going to let him go. Does anyone have anything else they might want to know here?
How many of the strange people who obsess over the eggs, how many of them have you seen?
I saw 2-3 of them, maybe. They threw me in here and then they just left me to die.
And have you seen anyone wearing, and then Mag inserts a description of what a Star Watch uniform looks like.
A teal uniform with a giant eye on it?
Yes, the one.
No, I haven't heard of anything like that.
It was a really good guess.
He's like, I just know that they're mad about something. They're getting Calignes are always weird. There's always some kind of puppet master pulling the strings. Always somebody getting them to do what they want. But these Calignes, they're even weirder than the others around here.
That seems a bit judgmental, if you ask me. Like, you have some unexamined prejudices.
I'm sorry, if you were thrown in a room and not given any food or water by anybody, and you just happen to know some things about the strange things that they do, you would... I see your point. Sorry, as I went through it, I realized that it was a problem.
Honestly, I wasn't being empathetic to your plight right now. That's going to be hard to sit there for 3 days.
Liberation!
Yes, liberation!
All right. Hey, quick question. Which way is the chasm? Obviously our friend Hulu here understands which way it is, but I'm an idiot and really a junior officer to their position, and it really helped me out.
The chasm is to the southwest.
Right. Oh, great.
If you haven't seen it.
Are there mushrooms around it?
Yes. Beautiful mushrooms.
Right.
Gorgeous.
The best
Delightful.
mushrooms. Way better than those awful eggs.
We've only just started following Hulu here, so how many other Urdefons would you say are in the chasm?
I'm sorry, did you just say chasm? Why did you say it that way? Why did you say the word chasm?
H's, honestly. I support you, Robin. Chasm is it now? Wow, I'm going to say that first. forever now.
There are dozens of us.
I think if you hadn't said that, I just would have ended up messaging Zoe right now to say, did she say chasm?
Did she say
Also, the
chasm?
fact that Armat just tried to die on the aspirated H's hill with a character named Istan.
Why do I say it wrong? Why do I say it so wrong? I do, and I don't know why I say it so wrong.
We all have those words.
Yeah. Yes. It's probably because you read it. You read it. The first 19 times you saw it, you were reading it, and it's hard to update.
I wonder if it's like, do the British say it differently? Is that why I say it like that?
The Urdefon warriors are all trained in language. If you come to us, we can teach you how to say words the right way, if that's interesting for you. We all say it chasm.
Yep, it's chasm. I'm just wrong. Cool. Learn something new every day, right, guys?
According to artificial intelligence, the British pronunciation of the word chasm is chasm.
Yeah, no, I'm just wrong. As I always would say to my students in my English class, don't make fun of someone for mispronouncing a word when they use it correctly.
Sorry.
I just read it in a book.
I didn't mean to offend.
No offense. That's just the gnomish pronunciation.
Sure. Whatever you say. I'm sure that's how they say it in Baltimore.
Oh, no, I'm not one of the Baltimorean gnomes.
No.
I'm from Brasselwark.
That's right.
I don't know if you've
Never
ever heard of
rivalry.
it.
Do they all talk like you there?
Kind of, yeah. It's a cool place.
It doesn't
You know,
sound cool.
if you ignored the whole, the whole country that's just devoted to demonic worship, which is the rest of Chiliax, but it's a nice place to be from.
I'm comfortable ignoring that.
What about anyone who's wearing? And then Mag inserts a description of the town guard uniform.
Oh, you mean like a sort of rinky-dink little chainmail deal?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I haven't seen anybody like that.
These stripper
Incredible
night
at this.
outfits? What do you mean rinky-dink little chainmail item?
That's how the barbarian described it. Why are you getting mad at me about it?
Right.
I guess it occurs to me Trill was asking an actual question that's gotten lost.
How many?
there?
It was how many other Urdefons are in the chasm. Although apparently, I just looked up. Sonia Sotomayor pronounces the H, so
It's an exclusive club.
there you go. There's tens of us.
Yeah.
There are dozens of us down below. The Urdefon forces.
Well, there goes next week's chat topic. Things that only Robin and Sonia Sotomayor.
Listener, you'll be surprised.
But there are many.
There's
As
Cool.
soon as I return, the Calignis here stand no chance. Urdefons will take what we deserve, and Kerfel will march upon them.
And
Liberation! Ayo
Yes.
chimes in.
yeah, we're all down for that. You do know that they explode as soon as you hit them, though, right?
What are you trying to insinuate, that I've never hit one enough to actually defeat it? Is that what you're trying to say about me?
I mean, you look to be in pretty good shape, so.
I'm dying of thirst. Now you mock me. Why don't you go to the chasm? I hate you.
Trying to be nice. Jeez.
Oh, trying to be nice. Funny, I never find it hard to be nice. I just am nice.
Oh, after you're making fun of me, huh?
Am I making fun of you?
Right, and your very prejudiced statement against the Kalini. I mean, I'm not. It just seems like nice is a bit of a reach here.
You're really not
Listen.
that nice, sir.
Yeah.
That was so long ago. I have grown so much since then.
5 minutes? No.
You're right. That's wrong of me to throw that at you.
Mag, squeeze him harder.
Yeah.
Ah!
Mag barely squeezed him harder.
Let me go.
And Ao in her changed form says to the Urdefon in Undercommon, Nyang Nyang Bonobo, which of course means, do you understand these directions to the chasm? She's trying to test and see if it speaks Undercommon. She wants to talk to him. Oh. Which means, of course.
Which means it's to the southwest. You actually, if you continued on past where you were with the Froghemoth, there's no way to miss it.
Do you think Kerfell would be able to make use of these, my captured servant friends?
There is a chance, yes.
Okay, so we have that option too, right? We add one more person into the fight, but have this guy get us in and let us learn something before we have whatever this boss fight is.
So are we going now?
What if we bring him with us as we try and clear out a couple more Caligny?
Sure.
We could also tell him to wait here and like give him some water, and we could come back and pick him up when we're ready to go to the chasm.
We could give him water and have a meat shield.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a meat shield?
Yeah.
So you're going to give me water, though?
Yeah.
Trill gives him some water.
Yeah. Well,
That's the first step of liberation!
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's the
You said it. Yes. Not dying of thirst is the first step.
Vive la résistance!
Before we go back to the chasm, we'd love to have you with us on our team as we try and clear out a couple more of the Caligny out here.
She means we'd love to join your team, but first we have some jobs.
Yes. Revenge.
Revenge feels good.
I like the offer you make. I will destroy them. Let's do it. I love this. Let's do it. Yes?
I love this for us.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
You said your name before, and I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right.
Yes, I know that's trouble for you, so let's...
Uluru?
Uluru? Did you just say my name is Uluru?
No, I don't.
Trill, I
Travis,
believe that's a
please
very
fix-
offensive word in their language.
No, that's not my name. That was my mother's name. My name is Hooglu.
Chuglu.
No,
Hooglu.
Hooglu.
Yes. Can I have my weapons, please? They should be in a bag on the wall.
What about that awesome fork you got, though? That's the way to liberation!
No, that's in the bag. The fork is just the art. I don't actually have... I'm not armed right now.
Mag reaches over onto the wall and grabs the bag. She takes a quick look inside.
Yeah, and you see this dope sword, awesome looking composite longbow. He says, Kerfella outfits us all very well.
Yeah, Mag gives it.
And he smiles, and you see his tongue sort of lolling out of his mouth between these like weird sort of vampire fangs. And he says, let's get crazy, everybody. Let's do a little wet work, shall we?
Liberation! Liberation! And I imagine them walking out of the hall cheering.
Yes. Let's go.
All right, so let's go back in the hallway and let's open the other door in this hallway, which is to the east.
Okay. I should let you know. I've heard them speaking in here. I think there are more of them behind this door. In fact, I'm sure of it. I have dreamed about killing them and wearing their flesh as various hats and what have you.
Whoa,
But
whoa,
now-
whoa. Hey, just
What?
go on in. Take the moment. This is weird. Don't get weird.
Hooglu, this is
Okay.
your moment. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna open the door.
Yeah.
Hooglu runs in. He's like, die! Roll for initiative.
Can AO be hiding around the door?
Absolutely.
Oh, Jack.
No problem. So you run into this room, and this lunatic that you decided to make friends with barrels through the door, and the smell of like rancid, sort of like smoked mushrooms punctures your ears. Your not your ears, of course, your nose. It's the other one.
Truly
Wow, that's some
rancid.
powerful scent.
Yeah, this thing is so smelly, it'll make you go deaf.
Yeah, definitely.
But this room is there are pillows, there are furs, blankets, and rugs jumbled all over the place, almost like this is like a pleasure den, sort of. There are empty jugs lining the walls around this room. And you see there are 2 Calignes standing guard in the middle of the room. Huglu has just run straight into one of them. He sort of face plants straight into their chests. These Calignes have pale skin. They're wearing this sleek black leather armor. Like cowls obscure their faces. And these 2 Calignes are standing watch in front of another Caligny. This one is sitting back against the wall, sort of in a laid-back, leisurely way, a jug trailing off of their pinky, like they're taking the last sips of a big jug of booze, like
a pirate in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Like a pirate in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Thank you, Zoe. He sees the light that you're shining into the room. As Huglu bursts into the room, light permeates from your light sources, and he hisses for a second, and he just like reaches over, throws a mushroom in the air, and just bites it out of the air in front of you.
Nice.
Shields his eyes, and he says, "We're being attacked, brothers. Kill them! Kill them!" Zoe, what did you roll for initiative?
35 for Ao. She's feeling pretty ready.
Very, very quick. Yes. And that's a stealth initiative. Zoe is like a shadow herself in the hallway.
Shadowy or deaf on.
That's right. Armet, how did Isthan do?
Not great. He got a 22. I guess he was thinking of javelins and being like, I wonder if
Never think of
javelin
javelins, God.
is more aerodynamic
Enough
than
with the
like
javelins.
a stick you throw end over end. It would have to be, right?
Yeah, more bad initiative from Isthan. How did Trill do, Robin?
I thought Trill did fine with a 31.
Yeah.
Can she demoralize in this moment, or should I wait?
You can. I will tell you, since Mag was scouting, you get to go a little bit earlier in the initiative. You break a tie that Mag spotted the Caligny at the last second.
Aw, thanks, Mag.
But go ahead. Yeah, give me a demoralize check, please.
Yeah. So she's going to, I think she's demoralize the one who's closest.
Okay.
So the one that's right in front of Huglu.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and see how that goes. That was a 28.
Okay, that is a critical success
Whoa.
thanks to your nice magically enhanced instrument. So they flinch back heavily, and they're now frightened too.
Fabulous.
There
Okay.
you go, Trell.
Cool.
Okay. And David, how did Mag do?
It's a 29 for Mag.
Okay. So pretty quick for Mag. We mentioned a few weeks ago, we're going to get into this encounter real quick. I want to take the time to talk about some stuff right now, though. We are using the full remaster rules for Barbarians now. That Barbarian was in Player Core 2. That is a book that you can win right now if you're watching the premiere of this episode live on YouTube. But there are some changes that I want to sort of lay out for people. I want to sort of talk about it just for a brief moment before we jump into this encounter. So I'm just going to run down a list of changes so that you at home know, and so that David is catching up on this for the first time also. There are some changes to Rage. First off, Rage used to give you a -1 penalty to armor class. It doesn't do that anymore. Okay? So your armor class does not get dinged for raging. It is still the case, and it used to be the case as well, that you lose rage when you get knocked out. But it used to be that when you got knocked out, when you raged, you weren't allowed to rage again for a full minute. There's been one time in this adventure where Mag got knocked out and couldn't re-rage.
Right.
That's gone. You can still re-rage within a minute. The thing that you can't do is take the additional temporary hit points that you get upon raging. So you can only get those once per encounter, basically.
Yeah.
So that's the balance for that. There is a new Barbarian feature, which we have talked about a little bit here, but not by name. The name of this is Quick Tempered. This is a feature that all Barbarians get. As a free action, you can rage when you roll initiative. So that's going to trigger right now. Mag, quick-tempered, flies into a rage the moment she rolls initiative. There is a new class feature called Furious Footfalls, which gives you a +5 speed bonus and a +10 speed bonus while raging. So Mag is now much faster than she used to be.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
While raging, she has now a speed of 35 feet per stride, which is very good. This used to be locked behind a barbarian feat, which Mag never took. So this is just a straight up bonus to Mag's speed, which is great. And Fury Barbarian, which is the kind of barbarian that Mag gets a slight boost to damage. Mag used to get a flat +6 to damage to each attack while raging. Now she gets a flat +7 to damage.
Because we needed
the
she
tiniest
really
little
needed
change.
Yeah.
She's been pretty puny up till now.
Struggling,
Yeah, I'll say, if I can editorialize for a moment, I think
Please.
people online have lost their minds.
What are
Like,
the people online on
People
about?
online are like, Fury Barbarian is a trap choice. They failed to fix it. It's so weak. It's so bad. And it's just like, I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Come see the damage our Fury Barbarian does.
Yeah, it seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, Fury Barbarian, or I've always felt like the semi-unfortunate thing about it is that it's harder to, it doesn't have as much flavor as the other barbarian types, which are like, you're a barbarian that's a dragon, or you're a barbarian that's a giant, or you're a ghosty barbarian.
Yeah.
Like, those things are very evocative in a way that, like, you're a barbarian who's extra mad, like, which is, I chose it on purpose because I thought it was interesting, but it's never occurred to me that mechanically it was compromised.
It's this thing where people have to compare options against each other rather than like comparing, are you going to have a good time playing the game with this choice?
Good point.
You know what I mean? It's just like, it's all theory crafting. I'm sure people listening to this have strong opinions and are like, we're wrong. And that's fine. You can be wrong, but we're having a great time. So I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, there's arguments for min-maxing and there's arguments for creating a character that has an interesting narrative arc.
It's true.
Not
But
necessarily-
I
they
also
could be
think
the
the
same, they're not
character's strong.
necessarily the
I think the character's strong.
Yeah.
Well, but also we've just looped around this very last thing that what you just described is a whole bunch of new stuff at once.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all of which are pretty big advantages. Maybe this is like too abstract a question or something, but now that raging is a free action, you're always going to rage when you're in initiative.
Yeah.
So how is all of these benefits that you get from raging, why aren't they just like things that you get to build into the character?
Like, why still even have the rage mechanic?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, there are downsides to raging. You can't take concentrate actions.
Right.
I think that there's still like the class fantasy of
I mean, that's
like,
the reason
of
is
being
like
in
it's
a different
awesome.
emotional state.
Yeah.
There's maybe a moment in the near future, David, where I would like to catch up with you about this question and follow up on it. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think that I kind of agree with you. There's one more change that I just want to mention because I missed it. Barbarians used to have a feature called Deny Advantage, which rogues still have. So Zoe still has this, where it's like if you're flanked by people of a lower level than you aren't off guard to them.
Yeah.
That has gone away. So you don't have an advantage against people flanking you, but you still also don't get a disadvantage to your armor class. Anyway, so David, my feeling about this question is that I feel like there are very minor changes to the barbarian class, but they reflect a sea change in how it is that this class plays and how it is that the game overall works. For my money, the changes to barbarian are the best microcosm for how there are very, very small changes to the game in the remaster that demonstrate a very significant philosophical shift in how it is that the game is meant to be played. And I'll just spell this out as simply as I can. I think it used to be the case that the early turns of the barbarian were a puzzle. You're saying, how do I trigger this thing and that thing to get my thing moving as fast as possible? It was a very gameplay first puzzle.
Yeah.
And this shift towards you get rage automatically. You get to move faster when you rage. You don't get a penalty when you rage. That stuff is all about just like get rolling, live your class fantasy, make the thing happen, do the barbarian stuff immediately.
Yeah.
And I think it's a shift away from a certain sort of restrictive gaminess in this game into a more sort of enable player like power fantasy stuff.
Totally agree. Which is to say, yeah, let's go hit stuff.
Great. Okay. Thanks for my little barbarian enduring the barbarian spiel. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be interesting. Okay.
It's way. I mean, in my personal opinion, way better.
Yeah.
To just like the fight starts and you get mad and you get to start being more awesome because you're more mad, because that's what barbarians do, instead of it being all thinky and like needing to plan it. So yeah, let's
totally.
I'm very excited to play with my new toy.
Fantastic.
That's well said.
So this Caligny, we're rejoining the action. This Caligny has just popped a mushroom into its mouth. This is the Caligny in the corner of the room that is being guarded by the two lower level Calignys that Huglu just slammed into. There's a very practiced sort of whoop as they swallow this mushroom, look at you with these light-blinded eyes, and they cast a spell. They start moving their arms around. They start chanting. They throw strange like fungal dust into the area, and a gigantic sphere of darkness forms around everybody in this room. This is magical darkness.
Would this trigger counter performance?
This is not a spell with a
auditory or visual effect.
It's not an auditory spell. It's certainly, let's see. Let's take a look. Darkness has the I'm sure this spell has the visual trait. It doesn't.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's like this, and also this thing's not making you pass a save.
Okay.
So here's
never
kind
hurts
of
to
what
ask.
I get it. Here's what I want to tell you. The magical light of Trill's light spell gets extinguished within this orb of darkness.
Oh.
This is a heightened darkness spell, and light does not enter the area. Non-magical light sources do not emanate any light. It is suppressing the light of its spell or of its rank or lower. I'll let you know this is a fourth rank spell, so it's going to suppress any fourth rank and lower magical light, which is to say none of your magical light is going to work right now. That's it for their turn. They cast the spell. It's a 3-action spell, and they're done. It is now Ao's turn. Ao is also inside of this orb of darkness, hiding in the hallway around the corner. What is Ao's move?
What's the effect here for her, since she has, I think, dim light vision, but not total darkness? Like, is there a flat check if I go ahead, based on where I saw them, if I try to get off a shot? Or what happens
definitely.
in pitch darkness?
Everybody is blind. Like, you're effectively blind. You can't see anybody. You can't see anything. While you're blinded, moving around the room is going to be, everything is difficult terrain. And you're going to need to pass a DC 11 flat check to target any single creature. It's terrible.
Yeah, that is terrible.
It's so bad, I was like, do I even want to do it?
But you did.
And
I'm so glad
I made
you
a
did.
choice. I knew Armat would be into it.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? 4th level? You need greater dark vision to see through that. Which is awesome.
It's true.
I don't have that. I don't have it.
No.
I don't think
Um,
any of
And
us
my
do.
fairy fire is only 2nd rank, so.
Well, Ao's gonna do what any responsible leader of a group like this would do and go, Trill, can you do anything? And delay her turn so Trill can go first.
Okay.
I think
It's now Trill's
Trill's just gonna do the thing that she do. And I think because she can't see anything, so she can't really do anything beyond like her immediate aura, if you will. She's gonna use her Harmonize to both Dirge of Doom and Courageous Anthem so that the other two can get frightened.
Great.
So that means the first action is Harmonize, second action is Dirge of Doom. So Dirge of Doom will just be a regular Dirge of Doom.
Okay. So you sing the scary song, everybody in the room is frightened.
And then we will Lingering Comp into Courageous Anthem.
Okay.
And that's a 27 for Courageous Anthem.
27 for Courageous Anthem is a success.
Great. Huzzah.
So everybody gets 3 rounds of Courageous Anthem.
And so
Trill?
Trill does that, and as she struts off the last one, she shouts, I don't know what she says. She's got nothing. She's got nothing. She's scared.
It's pitch black darkness. Trill can't see her hands in front of her face. It's terrible.
My light magic's not powerful enough for this.
Is Ao jumping in now, or is Ao staying delayed?
Ao's feeling emboldened, and so she is gonna potentially waste her turn. Let's do it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Trill, yeah! Ao is going to peer around the corner and try to hit the one that's right through the little doorway. There's the one to the north is the one that just made this horrible thing happen. The one right below it is the one she's going for.
And it's the one to the south that cast the spell.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, this one seems the one right through the doorway, past Hooglu.
Hooglu. Okay. So you can spend an action to get rid of the cover that is blocking your way, and then you have 2 more actions to shoot the chompers if you want to.
So how do I do my DC 11 flat check on this? Do I fire first?
Yeah, roll the DC 11 flat check first. Just roll the D20 and we'll see what happens.
Is a 7 above an 11?
It is not. This is
Maths
why
is
this is
hard.
bad.
Does she
So-
roll it for each one, or is that
Yep.
just a check on both of them? So
You
I get
roll it for
one
each
more
one.
roll to see.
Exactly.
All right.
To see if you get to attack.
That's a 19. So that
Okay,
one I feel
you-
like
Get to attack.
Is it now a map because it's my second attack, or is it regular?
I think it's a map, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, unfortunately. That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Wow.
So Ao shoots into the darkness and the arrow finds its match, finds its target.
Nice, Ao.
And I'm getting all my various things because it's flat-footed, right? Yeah. So that is 20 points of damage.
Absolutely. You hear a cry of pain, ah, as the arrow connects.
All right. Hasty actions have payoff sometimes.
The
Liberation! She
Hey, liberté, égalité, fraternité.
Hooglu, if you could see him, he would be transparent in the darkness and he smiles. His big teeth are like, yeah.
Why do we always find the creepiest one with the weird smiles?
Ogriel was nice.
He had a weird smile,
and
though.
he had
And he
creepy
was
moments.
creepy. Yeah, there's something to that. The Caligny in the northern edge of the room reaches around the corner and swings a short sword at Hooglu.
Aw, poor Hooglu.
And they do that twice.
Do they have to pass a check as well?
No, they can see in the dark. It's not nice. But guess what? I just rolled a 1 on the die.
A fumble card because you fumbled hard.
Nice.
I got 12 cards in this deck. I drew the 8 of spades. This is just a miss. Here comes the next swing of a short sword towards Hooglu. That is going to be a 24. That hits. meaning that Huglu is going to take a total of 8 points of damage. And the Caligni's turn is now over. It is Mag's turn. Mag is bottlenecked behind Huglu. It's dark. It's bad. What is Mag going to do?
What I want to do is barrel into the room past Huglu, shove the thing that's standing in the doorway up to the north into its buddy.
Okay.
I
can have you shove it so it winds up here. So
it can't wind up here, though?
Yeah, it can't share a space with a butt.
Oh, I wanted them to clamor, rattle into each other.
We can still do that. It's just that then he's going to be here.
Sure. Okay, great.
Okay.
So yeah, let's walk into the door, and then the space right on the other side of the door, which is occupied, that's what I want to shove out of.
So this shove, I'm going to need that DC 11 flat check.
Right, sure.
As Mag tries to shove her way past this first Caligni.
That's a 7. Is 7 higher than 11?
It's not.
I learned that
So what
last
happens?
time.
Let me do a flat check. Let's say a DC 11, Huglu gets pushed back because you're sort of sharing a space with him when you're doing the shove. DC 11 and up, Huglu gets pushed back. 10 and below, you get pushed back. Okay?
Sure.
Here we go. Flat check. 11.
Whoa.
So Huglu gets pushed back. Mag at least ends her move in the place where she wanted to be.
Right.
Face to face with a Caligni.
So that leaves me within, standing in the doorway, so I can hit the same one that AO already took a little chunk out of.
That's right.
Little chunk. Big and impressive chunk.
And that is, hey, good roll. That's a 33 to hit?
I still need that flat check.
Yeah, you sure do. 12. Is 12 higher than 11?
That's a lot higher than 11. That's a critical hit. Mag manages to bonk into Hulu, come into this room, the smell of fungal smoke filling her nose, and just bam, a massive critical hit on the Caligni.
Love it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Here is some critical damage. So it's 54 damage plus some rune stuff. Does it survive?
As Mag bashes the Caligni down, it starts shaking around. Light starts bursting out of its eyes.
Right.
And guess what? This thing's going to blow up again. But we're going to pick up from there next time.
I'm so glad I have 2 other people in front of me.
Yeah.
As you said, Robin,
Happy to help.
meat shield is a good thing.
He's literally Trill's meat shield now.
You got a meat shield and a mag shield up there.
Yeah.
The Roots of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated fan content policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. The Roots of Ruin is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in The Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. Visit our website, tabletopgold.com, to learn more about us and our shows, join the Golden Horde to get access to more shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.